of the Finetwork FIM Junior GP World Championship takes us to the brilliant circuito de Jerez, Angel Nieto. Built in 1986 and hosting its first Grand Prix in 1987, it's a staple in the Grand Prix racing to this very day. 4.42 kilometers, 2.75 miles and 13 turns make up this iconic circuit, with each one bringing its own unique challenge. Situated in Jerez de la Frontera, Jerez is steeped in culture, renowned for its famous sherry, love for its flamenco heritage, and most recently features the circuit on a 2000 Spanish re-release single from legendary 80s rock group The Scorpions' signature song, Rock You Like a Hurricane. It's a day of whirlwind action as Junior GP gets ready to rock in Jerez. 6 races, 4 classes, and incredibly close racing throughout. I'm Liam Hodgins, and bringing a sense of realism and technical know-how to today's racing is MotoGP tech wizard and all-round good guy, Jack Gorst. Jack, this is going to be a great day's racing action, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Thank you for the big up and the big warm welcome there, Liam.
You need one.
Of course, you are the man behind the scenes doing all the video editing in Barcelona MotoGP, bit of a wizard yourself. But no, as you say, going to be a fantastic day's racing here. You can see from these circuit shots that we've already got, with the cameramen being very busy this morning collecting these and also throughout the weekend, that it is glorious sunshine down here in Jerez. Not too hot this morning, it's fantastic. Before we dive into Jerez, this is what happened last time out.
So Joel Esteban started from a career first pole position. The rookie got the whole shot chasing his first Junior GP victory. As the battles were hiding on all through the field. 2 Italians battled out for 3rd position. It was Luca Lunetta and Nico Corrado battled for the podium as Jacob Rolston made some moves on David Almanza. But at the front, it was Piqueras and Joel Esteban. That was Corrado taking a long lap penalty. Those two scorched off to lead, but a disaster as David Almanza and Ruda took each other out. But Piqueras taking his first win of the season. Could he back it up in race number 2? He got the whole shot once again in race 2 of the day at Valencia. But it was Joel Esteban who took the lead earlier on as well before Piqueras fought back. That was Adi Tama taking a tumble at turn 13 before Ralston ran a little bit wide as well. But Piqueras with an incredible move before Bartolini and Corrado went down on the final lap. But Piqueras held on to make it a double delight in Valencia as he took victory in the championship lead. So Angel Piqueras leads the championship coming into Jerez de la Frontera, the circuito de Jerez. Angel Nieto, can he convert it into another double here today? 2 races for Junior GP. Race number 1 coming up at 11 AM local time, with race number 2 coming up at 2 PM. Great day's action, and Angel Piqueras took the Junior GP 99th victory from 1998 to the very day, and also the 49th victory in the Moto 3 class. Statistics courtesy of our friend Kiko Giles there. And Jack Gorst, there are 4 riders on the current grid and 1 in Junior GP, so that gives us plenty of opportunity to potentially have a 100th winner.
Yeah, it certainly does. Of course, one of the names that we'll be looking for to become that 100th winner is Joel Esteban, but he's a little bit down there on the grid. I believe he's down in 14th or 15th position. He is down in 15th position, so Joel Esteban has a little bit of work to do if he does want to become that 100th winner. As you do say, that the 99th winner there is the number 18, Angel Piqueras, and he's on pole position again, and this is how he did it.
For tomorrow, I feel really confident with myself and with the team. So I don't know, will be hard, but I think I am ready to fight tomorrow. My expectations are good, so I don't know, let's see tomorrow.
Angel Piqueras, your pole sitter here today for both Junior GP races. Bless him, very, very humble there in his post-race interview.
Yeah.
Of course, he wasn't he, there? And as the fans are in their droves here today, we were talking about this a little bit earlier on. There was a lot of fans in the pit lane for the pit lane walk just before Junior GP got in action. The sun is shining here in Jerez. The 28 degrees predicted here today with that's air temperature. We can imagine track temperature will get a lot warmer as the day progresses.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be quite a scorching hot day. There you do see Angel Piqueras really starting to come of age now. The 17-year-old certainly doing a very good job indeed, as you see there. Double win last time out in Valencia. And really, we have to talk about that move, that double move.
It was incredible, wasn't it?
On the final lap. I mean, that really was a no-holds-barred move. Like, just dived up the inside and barged his way through. Ruthless, and he's also translating that into Red Bull rookies as well, because he's won 5 out of the 6 races.
Yeah, 70 points from a possible 75 in Red Bull rookies. He's absolutely dominating that championship there. Now, hopefully, we want to do a complete rerun of 2022 with Jose Antonio Rueda, who took the championship here in JuniorGP last year and also the Red Bull Rookies title. So he'll be hoping to make a double in both series as well. Now here's the man that's in second, Xabi Zuratuza. A very, very good qualifying from him. 6th in the standings at the moment on 25 points. Best result of 5th last time out in Valencia. Now he's someone's really starting to come on form now.
Yeah, definitely, of course, second season here in the Junior GP category. And last year was certainly just a bit of a learning year. We know that he came up with some real good pedigree from the European Talent Cup the year before. And last year had a solid year, you would say. Not doing anything spectacular, got a handful of top 10s. And really now has taken that step forward and just looks like he's going to be one of these guys that you see in the Moto3 World Championship in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, it was a rider that had a bit of a rough patch at the end of 2022. Hadn't scored any points since this very circuit, but as we saw on the screen earlier on, he scored 3 on the bounce. Cormac Buchanan, the number 14 rider, another rider from the AGR team that's really starting to find his form. As you can see there, a bit of a problem, as we would say, in Valencia race number 2 there, but 7th place in race number 1 and on the front row of the grid. Now Cormac Buchanan really finding some form as well.
Yeah, definitely. First front row that he's had in the Junior GP category. Of course, a Kiwi as well, as he's come from all the way on the other side of the world to come and race here. And you can't underestimate...
From your part of the world as well, basically.
Yeah, you can't underestimate just how big that challenge and also change is. You know, he's come here, doesn't know the language, all this sort of stuff, and working with a lot of Spanish people in the paddock. So certainly seems to be finding his feet now and doing very, very well indeed.
David Almanza, now a rider that we have seen on the world stage as well. And Alonso Lopez just lurking in the background there, keeping an eye on the Finetwork Mir racing team riders. His teammate was, well, Marcus Ruder. Well, it still is Marcus Ruder. And, well, unfortunately, those two had a coming together in race number 1 in Valencia. Now, we can imagine how that would have gone down in the racing team, especially with Alonso Lopez. They're trying to at least calm down the riders. But David Almanza, he's had a disastrous start to the season, despite how good he's shown on race pace as well.
Yeah, really struggling, Almanza, at the minute. Certainly not clicking for him, but we do know that obviously he's a very, very good rider. You would have seen him when he made his debut this season in the World Championship on a replacement ride for the injured Joel Kelso, all the way in Argentina, and was in the podium fight until unfortunately being collected in a crash on the last lap. Here's Bartolini, a rider that has a lot of familiarity with the World Championship, but now stepping back to the Junior GP category and slowly finding his feet. Last time out in Valencia was a better round for him. Yeah,
it was indeed. He managed to get himself into the podium contention, and unfortunately coming together with the number 10 Aspar rider of Nico Corrado on the final lap after Angel Piqueras, of all people, made that double move. It punted Corrado at wide. As he came back onto line, it just got on the way of Elia Bartolini. Now, here's a very happy rider. Eddie O'Shea, the British rider, 6th on the grid here today, took his first ever podium in Junior GP 1 year ago with a 3rd place. And he's had a very solid start to the year. A couple of top 10s, just one he's missed out on, but we saw him in the hotel this morning. He was on fine form, and a rider that has really bounced back from what was a very horrible injury last year.
Yeah, he's been through the ringer. Unfortunately, broke his leg, and what was it, 5 surgeries he's had on that leg now to fix it. And he told us this morning, in his Instagram post, he said that he had an artificial vein put in, but in fact it was a cow vein. Incredible. So yeah. A crazy injury and a crazy recovery process, and something that's I've not really heard too many people having to do, replace a whole artery. But yeah, proving that it's working, and once again just going fast and getting his confidence back.
Indeed, he'll be hoping to move up the order later on today with a podium or possibly a win. 7th on the grid is Yambias. That's another rider that's starting to really come on form. He had a great start to 2022. last year and was really starting to find his feet towards the mid part of the season, but really sort of stagnated. But now with 7th on the grid, he really found his form in qualifying yesterday after a slow start on Friday. And Yambias, the Argentinian rider, is part of the Estrella Galicia 00 team, and he'll be hoping to, well, convert that into what should be a top 5 finish. Alvaro Carpi, the rider that finished 3rd last time out for his first podium. Now, it wasn't just his first podium. He got one in Estoril, but was later disqualified for technical infringement in the Estoril race. One of the happiest riders I've ever seen receive a podium, and he'll be hoping to go at least 1, maybe 2 better today. Alvaro Carpi on the number 83 machine. Watch out for him because he is going to be absolutely rapid here today. Also competing in the Red Bull Rookies, and he's had 2 podiums, including a 3rd place right here in Valencia, a month and a half ago in April when the World Championship was here as well?
Yeah, certainly doing very, very well indeed. We have to do a quick shout out here to Daniel Sharil, because many of you may know that in 2018 he had a really severe leg break, and his leg certainly is still a little bit worse for wear now, but certainly healed up enough to be able to ride really well, and he's 10th on the grid here this weekend, and also recently fractured his ankle as well in Jerez as well for the Red Bull Rookies. Daniel Sharil is certainly a little warrior and showing once again that he's got speed to go on and build on the potential that we see from him.
The Malaysian is certainly very impressive indeed. 10th place on the grid. I don't think I expected that. I don't think anyone expected that from the young Malaysian. And yeah, as you said, returning to the circuit where it all went wrong for him a few months ago. Now, here is a rider that's a little bit further back on the grid to what he would have hoped, and to what he's a little smile there, wave to the camera as well. This is keeping his high spirits up. But Adi Tama here, he is certainly one to watch. He was running inside the top 6 in Valencia before he took that tumble. Really went through the ringer at turn 13, but we know the speed is there, and unfortunately just a little bit unfortunate in qualifying yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate in qualifying yesterday, but obviously down the way on the grid. But we know that in the Motor 3 category in Junior GP here, that certainly they can do good things from poor starting positions. So we'll see what happens. As now we do see a hive of activity. It's really starting to ramp up now. We're going to run you through the grid for this first race of the day here at Jerez, the Junior GP category. So Piqueras on pole from Zuratufa and Buchanan, Almansa, Bartolini and O'Shea. Watch out for those guys. And Yambias, Carpe and Ralston. Ralston was really quick last time out. Needs to sort his qualifying, but you know he's going to be up there right battling at the front. On the fourth row of the grid, the impressive and little warrior Sharil, as we do say, Alejandro Morosi, who certainly is a quick one indeed, as well as Cruces. Cruces will be annoyed because his Q1 lap was about half a second quicker than what he did in Q2. Luneta, Rosenthaler, Esteban behind them, and then on the grid behind them it is Ruda, Bouazri and Abi Adatama. Further back, Marcus Oriate goes off from 19th position with Ramostorfer and Detweiler next to him. Then it's Torrin Collins, Mate and Tiesi, as well as Gordon, Uchimi, Emmanuel and Plonk completing the grid. Plonk having to start at the back of this one. He did qualify further up, but he received a penalty yesterday in qualifying.
A very naughty boy indeed is Guillaume Plonk. As the riders set off for the warm-up lap, there's going to be 15 incredible laps in store for us here today for race number 1. It's a very nice morning here in Jerez. As the riders circulate around the lap now, the track temperature will be at its lowest point of the day for now, so this is perfect riding conditions indeed.
Yeah, this will be the best conditions we get all day, I think. I think once we go a little bit further throughout the day, it'll start getting a little bit hot and a bit greasy. We've seen yesterday and the day before that they don't tend to go faster in the afternoon.
Yes, which is absolutely perfect for some of the riders. Now this year in Junior GP, we don't have the combined qualifying of qualifying 1 and qualifying 2. We run more to what you'll see in the World Championship with a Q1 and Q2, which certainly helps some riders that might have had a little bit of trouble earlier on in the morning. The riders power down the back straight on the warm-up lap. There is, look at Luneta further back down the field as well. Look at Luneta, who was on pole position at round number 1. He'll be hoping to power his way through the field. He's a little bit further down, which is a shame for the number 58 rider. And 13th place, he's shown good form in Estoril, he's shown good form in Valencia as well. Can we see him power his way through to the front as well? The number 7 of Joel Esteban, he's one of the riders that we did mention could potentially take the 100th Junior GP victory, stretching all the way back to Fonzie Nieto in 1998. And an incredible stat that is there by our very own Kiko Giles coming up with that one as well. So who will be the 100th winner in Junior GP? Will it be today? Will it be, well, a little bit later on, David Almanza, Angel Piqueras, Nico Carraro and Tachikon Bouadri are the riders in the class that have already won.
I think Nico Carraro might have a good chance, although Piqueras has been extremely quick. Yesterday there was only 2 riders into the 46s, and Piqueras and 02 for the only 2, with Piqueras at 46.4. Before we launch onto this one, I have to say that Nico Carraro, yesterday morning was quickest all throughout free practice, but then in the qualifying, both him and teammate Jacob Ralston crashed on their fast laps. So I think they're 9th and 10th on the grid, so watch out for them because they're quicker than what their qualifying suggests.
Well, starting next to each other, there certainly will be more fireworks from the two. They looked a little bit ginger when they came back to the garage, but thankfully we see them both relatively okay and ready to take the start for race number 1 here in Jerez. Under the UFO, the iconic UFO that has become a staple around the Circuito de Jerez, Angel Nieto. And another Angel that'll be hoping to convert it into victory will be Angel Piqueras in the number 18. As the red lights are on, they go in, and it's a great start there from the number 14 of Cormac Buchanan. Elliot Bartolini goes off the line well, but almost side-by-side contact between the top 2, but as Piqueras that leads into turn number 1 cleanly, we hope, for turn number 1 so far, and it is indeed. But Piqueras leads the way from Zurutuza, and Bartolini up the inside of the Kiwi there, the number 14 of Buchanan, just shuffles them out wide to P4, but we've got a change for leads. Yes, we do. Turn number 4. That was brilliant by Zurutuza up the inside of his championship leader. Piqueras bad to run a little bit wide. He has done. Here comes Bartolini up the inside, and here comes Buchanan. Takes 3 of them. Incredible there, Gort, from Cormac Buchanan.
Cormac Buchanan then getting busy already after losing out to Bartolini early on in the lap. He's gone from 4th to 1st in one corner, all the way down on the white stripe.
And here comes
the
Carpe,
blue paint. Carpe now getting in the mix. Ralston's right there in the back. He's had a good start, but it is going to be 85 as Zurutuza that leads them down into the Pedrosa corner for the first time.
Eddie O'Shea on the number 8 machine. The British Talent Cup riders getting shuffled back a little bit by Ralston, but he's come back again on him and turn number 7 there. So great action here. That's Cormac Buchanan. So Ralston on the green just as he got pushed out a little bit wide by Eddie O'Shea, the Brit, on the number 8 machine. But leading the way so far is Zabri Zurutuza from Cormac Buchanan and Angel Piqueras in 3rd spot as they make their way through the stadium section. Move there from Bartolini up the inside of Carpe. Carpe, an incredible start from further down on the grid. We knew that he was going to get his elbows out, and he absolutely has. And Zurutuza, he's getting his... Oh, Zurutuza's gone down from the lead. Oh, that's disastrous from turn number 11. Zurutuza, he was pushing the front heavily there, trying to regain the lead with Buchanan on the outside. That's put Buchanan into the lead now, and he storms away. That's such a shame from Zurutuza.
Yeah, massive shame then for Zurutuza. Not a man that makes too many mistakes, but unfortunately, the sophomore in this class has gone down in a fantastic position to try and pick up that 100th winner title in this class. But now it does go to a different person instead. We call it Buchanan leading. This will be the first time that we've seen him leading consistently in the 2023 Junior GP, as now Piqueras, the pole man, is fighting back on his teammate Elliot Bartolini. So this one is certainly starting to get spicy on lap 2.
Yeah, we've noticed that all season long from Piqueras so far. As soon as he gets overtaken from 2nd spot, he doesn't mind not leading, but he just wants to be sitting there just behind the leader. And every time he gets shuffled back a little bit, you'll find him retaking it as quick as he possibly can. Alvaro Carpe in this leading group, David Almanza as well. He's looking for his first points of the season. I can't believe I'm saying that. 3 races so far, 3 DNFs, but we know he's fast. And his teammate Buchanan, it's Ruda, I must say, it's just a little bit further back as Bartolini up the side of Pedrosa corner. Buchanan stuffs them both. He's back at them. The Australian Collective boys running a little bit wide. Buchanan says, thank you very much. Leave the door open. I'll take that. Carpe up the side of Almanza to turn 7 as well.
Classic Motor 3 action. This is all kicking off here now, isn't it?
Oh,
Ralston looks up the inside. I do have to say, actually, pointing out about Nico Carraro, completely forgot. Unfortunately, the poor man has broken his collarbone after that qualifying crash, so he is not in the racing today. But his teammate, who crashed on the same lap as him, is there on the Aspar team bike. Who's that that's gone down? That might just be Zurutuza getting a lift back.
Yeah, he's getting a lift back. Such a shame, but he will have another chance a little bit later on today. Here's a replay of what happened, pushing the front up the inside of Cormac Buchanan. Just pushed it a little bit too far and slides out. Lucky to not be collected by anyone else, and the bike slides away from him. Takes a little bit of a tumble through the gravel, but he certainly seems okay, which is very good news for Xavi Zurutuza. Back at the front, it's still Cormac Buchanan that leads from Angel Piqueras as he click off another lap onto lap number 3. Alvaro Carpe's in there as well. Bartolini's in 3rd, but who's going to make a move? No, he's just sitting there. Angel Piqueras is very happy to sit there in 2nd for the moment.
Cormac Buchanan extremely good on the brakes there down into turn 1. here in Jerez. This is not what we expected at all. We thought that Piqueras had the pace to pull away from all of them. Maybe Suratufa could go with him, but of course Suratufa is out of this one, and Piqueras right now did not expect the Kiwi Cormac Buchanan to be just this fast. And look at this group now as well. It seems that it goes all the way back to, is that Morosi at the back?
Morosi, yes, on the number 19 machine now. We just saw one of the riders, that was Ruda, who's just set the fastest lap of the race, running the green there. Now, if they do that too often, 3 times in fact, they will get a warning. And there's Eddie O'Shea making a move up the inside of that. It looks like it's Bartolini. Oh, that Piqueras nearly tags the back of Cormac Buchanan's all action down at turn number 6. Pedrosa corner. Eddie O'Shea's now into 3rd spot, chasing that 2nd podium. We must remind you, he got his 1st podium here 1 year ago. So quickly come back to track limits. If you run onto the green 3 times, you'll get a warning, and then if you do once more, you will be given a long lap penalty. So we must keep an eye on that. Ruda is already on the green once, the number 69 machine, but it's all out. Keras nearly ran into the back of Eddie O'Shea on the number 18 machine there.
There's going to be some tense faces down in the Finetwork Mir Racing Team garage. All 3 of their bikes are together.
Oh, no,
and we know what happened with 2 of them in Valencia race 1. So hopefully we don't see a repeat of that. Keep it all safe, fellas. Let's keep it going now. Down into the final corner. Jorge Lorenzo here on lap 3. And Eddie O'Shea is going to dive up into 2nd. So Eddie O'Shea really looking very clever and composed here. He's just surged through the field very quietly, and he's right there now behind Carpe leading.
He was looking very confident in the hotel this morning when we saw him for breakfast, and he's looking for the lead on Carpe. He's not doing it, but Elia Bartolini up the inside of Buchanan. Nerves him. Wait, take some of that, Cormac. Hopefully nothing too malicious there. Eddie O'Shea, fastest lap of the race, and here comes Wilson up there. I said he's taken 2 of them. He's taken 1 of them. He's taken one of the Mir Finetwork racing machines. That was the number 22 of Almanza. Now I want to point out there's a rider at the back, the number 7, Joel Esteban. He was a little bit further down the grid. He's a little bit far out on the green there as well. So we don't want to see too many of that from Joel Esteban. Now we know how quick he is. He was in dominant fashion in qualifying back in Valencia, struggling a little bit yesterday, but he's in the group, he's in the mix, and you can expect fireworks from the number 7 as he stroll down towards Pedrosa corner. A little bit of a squeeze there. Angel Piqueras is just taking the lead, and Bartolini is pushed it a little bit wide as a funnel the way through. Eddie O'Shea back into 2nd spot as well, but is Bartolini going to come up there saying turn number 7? Oh, he does. He sets up the Brits through turn number 7. Great move that for Bartolini.
So we've got 2 of the team EG00 bikes at the head of the field. And the other one of the other ones, one rider that will be kicking themselves is Facundo Llambías. He started 7th, but he's all the way down in 18th at the minute, looking over at the timing screen. So not too sure what happened there. Maybe he just got a little bit beaten up and bullied in the pack, but certainly a lot of work for him to do now. But this is the test here. Piqueras was mightily fast in qualifying yesterday, and if anyone can break away from the pack, it is going to be that young man. So let's see what they can do now. Certainly Bartolini and Eddie O'Shea have the hooks in, and so do the rest of them. Look at Carpe all there. Ralston at 2, now in 5th, and as we do see, Eddie O'Shea making another lovely move down into the Lorenzo corner. He's certainly got that one figured out, hasn't he?
He does indeed. Eddie O'Shea's getting his elbows out into turn at number 13, Lorenzo corner, as Piqueras
full gas.
Here we go. Into turn number 1, and Piqueras still leads the way at the moment. Joel Esteban still there for the back. Luca Lanetta as well. We mentioned him. He was far down in the grid. He's now up to 9th spot. He's well and truly in this group. And Morosi in the number 19 machine is just dropping back ever so slightly. And the top, 12 riders in this group at the moment, with Morosi just trying to hang on as much as he possibly can. Cormac Buchanan, he's still a little bit further back. Now, he was leading a couple of laps ago, but he's now back down to 7th. Eddie O'Shea nearly on the green. Cormac Buchanan certainly was in the green there.
Big move, Carpe. Wow.
We know how much he loves the fast corners. We know he's always going to give it a go, and he absolutely has. He's nerfed Eddie O'Shea out wide as he comes back on. Nearly contact between him and Elia Bartolini as they power down the straight into Pedrosa corner. Here comes Jacob Rulston as well, later on the brakes. Well, Carpe almost tagging the back of your championship leader, Angel Piqueras. He's had to set it up. He will fight another day, but he's been shuffled all the way back to, I think, round about 9th spot. Luca Lanetta just behind him, so that's in 8th spot, Alvaro Carpe. So a little bit aggressive there from Carpe, but thankfully still in this race.
Yeah, as you mentioned about Lunetta starting to come through, an uncharacteristically bad qualifying from him yesterday. He's been on the front row for the first 2 rounds of the year, and then, as we say, today starting from 14th, so certainly not the best qualifying from Lunetta yesterday, but trying to make up for it now, and it looks as though he really is starting to get busy and get involved in that group then. So, Piqueras, as we come down towards the final corner once again, looks as though he's going to have 1 lap at the front undisturbed, unless Eddie O'Shea decides to dive down the inside, which he does does again, but on Bartolini. Can't quite get there ahead of Becerra. So Becerra is going to lead us across the line then, and that is 1 lap now where he has been unchallenged.
Shame there from Jeffrey Emanuel. The Indian rider has crashed out. Thankfully, on the Cunha de Campione's machine, he's walking away. So thankfully, that's Eddie O'Shea dive bomb. That came out of nowhere. That was late as you like. Becerra says, no, thank you, not today, sunshine. And back in front. But Eddie O'Shea, wow, whatever he's had for breakfast, he means business here today. Jacob Wilson, he's in the fight as well. 4th spot. He's made up a couple of positions in the last few corners there. But Eddie O'Shea, he wants this, and he wants this bad.
Yeah, Jacob Wilson's got the best seat in the house at the minute, watching these three go at it. Hammer and tongs everywhere, handbags at dawn. It's now actually, it looks like he wants to get involved. He's going to do 2 of them into turn 5.
Wow.
Great move into turn 5. We've seen some big moves. Carpe in the last lap did the same. Now Jacob Wilson does the same, and he is in there now, and one that is looking to try and actually go to the lead straight away. He's got a little bit of a slipstream from Becerras, pulls out of it, but looks like Becerras is just going to hang on. It's now actually Bartolini bites
and
back.
And Carpe round the outside, and a lot of them as well. He's absolutely wild, this Carpe, but brilliant at the same time. He's just behind Eddie O'Shea. I thought Carpe was going to take about 5 of them in one there.
Yeah, speaking of 5 in 1, here we go. Jacob Wilson once again up the inside through turn 8. Big move that. As now, does it give? Is that Almansa in 4th? I believe it is. That number 22, Almansa, a man that's got some world championship. Oh,
Ralston
through to the lead, Ralston. So Ralston then really starting to show his hand here with 10 laps to go.
Oh, it's incredible, Jacob Ralston. He's really found his form on the Asper Junior Team machine in 2023. He's now just calculated himself to work his way to the front. And Jacob Ralston, we've seen him in absolute form with a podium back in Valencia. I seem to have just given him a lot of confidence as well. And he managed to score a podium last time out in Red Bull Rookies as well at Le Mans. So he's hungry for more trophies, he's hungry for more silverware, and he's certainly hungry for gold as well, and to become that 100th Junior GP winner. They're egging him on as he comes across the straight as well. Becerra slots him behind, runs a little bit wide. Almanza now into 2nd. Carpe, he's back into 4th after his moment down at Petrosa Corner a few moments ago. But Jacob Wilson still is Almanza a little bit later in the race. Carpe almost takes it back of Becerra. Bartolini and Carpe are getting a little bit close for comfort through turn number 3 into 4. And Bartolini round the outside of Carpe. You don't do that there, but he's just done it, and it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, Bartolini then giving them the World Championship apprenticeship right now as we look at this move then from Jacob Ralston down into turn 1. Superb stuff at the minute. A rider that's really taken a massive step up this year and proving why that Aspar team did sign him on last year for the Junior GP campaign. Didn't even get a top 10 last year, and here he is fighting at the front in Jerez. Cormac Buchanan there, still just in the background. Lost a couple of spots, but certainly firmly still in this group. Eddie O'Shea, once again, he's confident on that front end on that Honda, and looks as though actually he's going to have a little bit of trouble getting past Alvaro Carpe. We know that Alvaro Carpe rides a wide bike, and that is the widest Husqvarna I've ever seen in my life.
It really is indeed, and it's a very narrow track around here in Jerez, so you don't really need to be too worried. And setting up, they're getting so close for comfort here. Angel Becerra, actually championship leader, has been shuffled all the way back down to 6th behind Eddie O'Shea, but he's making a move into the double right-hander. He's done, he's set up the Brit, but Jacob Ralston is showing how good he absolutely is. Cormac Buchanan further back, he's been shuffled all the way back down to 10th spot, but you know that Cormac Buchanan's going to be fighting another day for this one. But great stuff here from all 13 riders in this group. At the back of that might be Daniel O'Shea, real mate potential in the back of this. Eddie O'Shea just punted out Angel Becerra into Petrosa Corner. We know how confident he is in the brakes there, but he's a little bit wide on exit. That's RB Atutama as well at the back, bringing Daniel O'Shea. So about 15 riders in this top group. It's going to be a big one here with only 8 laps remaining as Bartolini tries to go around the outside of Ralston, but gets shoved out onto the green, and David Almanza takes the inside. There they are there. We're just talking about them as well. That's Daniel Sharil and maybe actually it's Bouadri and Sharil are in this group as well. No, Bouadri's a little bit further back. There we are.
That's Bouadri there with, is that Noah Detweiler behind him?
Noah Detweiler,
it is, on the Cunha de Campione's machine. So certainly the talent team boys then certainly starting to get in the mix there. Sharil and RB Adatama, of course. Sharil recovering, as we say, from that broken ankle that he sustained here in the Red Bull Rookies, and doing a fine job indeed to tag onto the back there.
Well, all the junior talent team riders are setting pretty in the points at the moment.
Bartolini again.
Bartolini upside. Carpe's getting involved in that as well. Aditama, we're looking at him on the back of this group of 15 riders. All the points being positioned are in this leading group with Bouadri and Detweiler just a little bit further adrift of this as Rulston tries to retake the Carpe looking at the inside of Almanza into turn number. He can't do that there without a lot of confidence on the front end, and confidence we know is something that Carpe is not missing as he retakes third position for Almanza. That's Ruda in there as well. Piqueras trying to pick off the teammate of Almanza, Ruda, on the number 69 machine.
Yeah, that was a lovely move there from Piqueras to pick off Almanza. He just kept it wide on the exit and then made sure that it was nice and tight coming through so he could dive up the inside. So certainly very, very good racecraft indeed there from Piqueras. But to be honest, I thought he was going to be at the front. Oh, big move there as he does push Ruda wide. Well, that is Lanetta that's got about 4 places from that. So Lanetta is going to be rubbing his hands together and licking his chops because now he is up into the top 5.
We'll have some of that from Almanza. We know those have got a bit of history from race number 1 in Valencia a couple of weeks ago. We know that Alonso Lopez is in the garage. Oh, someone's down. That might be one of the...
It's Morosi, I think.
I think you're right. Not sure who else that might be as well. Maybe Rosenthaler further back as well. No, a couple of riders down in the background, turn number 1. Hopefully both riders are okay. But that's 2 riders that have gone down from this leading group now. So we're down to a group of 13.
I think it might have been... No, it's not Daniel Sharil or Aditama. They are still there. So who is it there?
Not too sure.
Is it Almanza?
Might be Almanza. We'll keep it.
It might be Morosi and Almanza. The number 19, number 22. We'll check now. We can see 2 purple bikes in this front group, but we can't see a third one, so it could well be.
It is Almanza and Morosi that have gone down at turn at number 1.
So Almanza then, who really needed a solid result to pick up some points. Looks like he's not going to get anything here this morning in Jerez.
Such a shame for Almanza. Another DNF for the 22 machine. We know how quick he is, and unfortunately there it looks a little bit shaken up from that accident there, but we know how fast Almanza is, so thankfully he does have another chance at it, another race later on here today, but that's disastrous for the number 22 machine, and also Morosi as well, who was in the leading group looking fairly confident, fairly decent as well on the number 19 machine, as we have Cormac Buchanan running out in the green as well, gets shuffled back ever so slightly. That is the number 78 of Rosenthaler coming past Cormac Buchanan further back as well. We've got Carpe on the grass as well. He was on the green, he was on the grass. He's looking every single way he can to get around the outside. Lunetta up the inside of both Estrella Galicia machines there. Have some of that, says Luca Lunetta. But Bartolini powers alongside him. Joel Esteban, he's still in this group. He's back in 9th spot. Maybe just keeping his powder dry with 6 laps remaining.
Yeah, been extremely quiet there in the back of the group, hasn't he? The number 7 just watching the chaos in front of him. But leading that chaos is his teammate still. The number 12 for Jacob Ralston doing a fine job indeed, but he does have Alvaro Carpe, who you would not want behind you, hounding him the whole way now. So certainly Carpe looking quite menacing. But as we do say, Piqueras, that man that we thought was going to run away with it in this race, is still lurking there behind these top 3.
I just went right the outside of Eddie O'Shea. Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was amazing there by Angel Piqueras. Very confident on the front end, and Val Carpe all over the back, glued to the rear wheel of Ralston as well. If he had wing mirrors, he'd be absolutely terrified with Carpe right behind him. And you've got Eddie O'Shea up the inside of Piqueras. He's just holding firm for now, but further back, chopping and changing. And a little bit of bumping and boring as well. That's Joel Esteban, Ruda, Rosenthaler, Buchanan, RB Aditama, and Sharil on the back of this group as well. Sharil returning from injury at this very circuit a month and a half ago in the Red Bull Rookies. Looks like he was making a little bit of a move in the background on his teammate.
I think that Piqueras was maybe trying to line up. He might do the same that he did to Almanza a few laps before. Looking tight here on the exit. Does he go to the inside of his teammate? He does. Beautiful move. Again there for Piqueras. He picks off Bartolini and now up into 3rd place with 1st place and his championship, his closest championship rival, Jacob Ralston, in his sights.
Jacob Rose, a long lap penalty there. That's for Cormac Buchanan. That's such a shame. That'll be for track limits. Cormac Buchanan, we've seen him run in the green quite a few times yet. And also number 7, you're not going to believe that's track limits warning for Joel Esteban. So he is on a strike, and his teammate is having some of that with Angel Piqueras elbow to elbow. There's the number 7 blasting past the screen, and the number 14. It's such a shame. Cormac Buchanan was looking very, very good in this race.
Yeah, he was. Big shame for Cormac there. Of course, that long lap penalty is going to cost him about 2.5, 3 seconds, so it will drop him right behind this front group. So big shame there. With 5 laps to go, there's not going to be much time to recover that one. You'll see him dive into the long lap lane shortly, but it is Carpe then who has hit the front now. And Ralston is back to third. He is back to third. There's a distraught David Almanza. He'll be very, very disappointed with that. He's just had some bad luck this year.
He really has done. It's such a shame. We know how fast he is, but thankfully he will be composing himself. He'll recharge and he'll be ready to fight once more in race number 2 at 2 o'clock local time here today. But Piqueras powers down the straight. He's up the inside of Carpe, and Carpe has nowhere to go but to go around the outside. He's going to try it. We've seen him try and do it a few times as well. Jacob Ralston slots back into second behind Piqueras, but here we go. Championship leader. We've seen this so many times from the number 18 on the Team Australia Lithium machine. When he gets to the front, he tries to stay there, but Ralston's having absolutely none of it. A track limits warning there from the number 69. That's Ruda on the Finetwork Mir racing machine as well, so he's also on a track limits warning. That's him and Joel Esteban.
Oh, that's a big
out of
move.
nowhere. Well, he's on a track limits warning. He wants to get to the front just in case anything does happen to him. But Eddie O'Shea there on the number 8 machine had to sit right up. The number 11 of Cruces has shuffled his way to the front. We just saw Angel Piqueras there shaking something off his bike. Not quite sure what that was. Was that tear off? Maybe it's got wrapped around his arm or something.
Oh, because he caught Buchanan there. He's sticking his leg out, letting them know that he's going to be diving into on that penalty lane. Good man doing that very sensibly. Don't go on the green, Cormac, otherwise he'll have to do it again. We saw that with a particular world champion.
He nearly did it, and he almost lost the front when he did it as well. So yeah, thankfully Cormac Buchanan, we're pretty sure, got through there nice and safely. And yeah, Fabio Quartararo, as you just mentioned there, we saw him in the MotoGP race a few months ago doing the exact same thing.
Massively on the inside again, but I think he's going to be toughed out there by Jacob Ralston. So Ralston certainly not one to be bothered by anyone diving up his inside, as now we do see the third Finetwork bike in this race. Of course, there's only 2 remaining there. Cruces, we did say the Cruces was pretty quick. His qualifying lap in Q2 was nowhere near as good as his Q1 lap, and so certainly now he's showing that pace, and he's surging up through into 4th place, the highest we've seen him so far. 5th place, sorry.
Eddie O'Shea looking up the side of Joel Esteban. He's very late, diving towards the apex as the Brit there, but he's just behind Joel Esteban. Joel Esteban now starting to make some moves. He's sitting there in 6th spot now, and you know Joel Esteban's going to be licking his lips, ready for some of this action. As Cruces looks up the end, or round the outside, have some of that of Joel Esteban. He's just behind his teammate Jacob Ralston, just in front of him as well. But brilliantly, Alvaro Carpe, I think for everyone's sake, him being at the front is probably the safest option for the moment.
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to be at the front after this turn 8 here, does it? That is Piqueras that's gone through. One of the Australia Glacier team bikes that has gone through and hit the front. So now Carpe is in a Team EG00 sandwich at the front, but he certainly won't be bothered by that because he likes to get his elbows out. 4 laps to go then, and as we come to complete this one, it will only be 3 laps to go. Liam, give us a prediction, go on.
Oh, predicting this one is going to be absolutely impossible, but I'll give you one anyway. I think Carpe's looking brilliant. He's going to have to outfox, out-tough Angel Piqueras, but he looks like he wants it badly. As O'Shea up the inside, almost nerfing out Joel Esteban. Luca Lunetta, he's been a little bit quiet for a few laps, but he's still in there. We saw him a few laps ago nerfing out both Team Australia Lithium machines, 0-0 machines at the final corner, but since then he's dropped a little bit back, and he's back in 8th spot, but we know that he might not stay there for very long because he has the pace to run at the front. Joel Esteban is in front of his teammate Jacob Ralston, looking back up the inside. Oh, that could have been disastrous there for the Team Asper machines.
Yeah, Ralston's definitely brave, isn't he? He loves having a look down the inside on the brakes. Certainly got a lot of confidence in the front end of that gas. Now, incidentally, of course, Carpe has won already this season, but the 2 behind him, well, pretty much everyone behind him, has not won yet. So if anyone other than Carpe wins this, we are going to see that 100th winner in the Junior GP /Moto3/125 category.
There's been a lot of it.
Here in the Junior, FIM Junior GP.
There's so much going on. And Piqueras heads the front again at Danny Pedrosa corner. Carpe into second, but there he is, the number 7 of Joel Esteban. Joel Esteban, he's been keeping his powder dry with 2.5 laps remaining. He's in the fight for the win. Elio Bartolini up the side. Carpe up the inside of Piqueras, and Piqueras has a fight on his hands, but he's very used to this. He knows what this championship's all about. He gets the same in the Red Bull rookies as well. Joel Esteban out
Esteban.
of nowhere. Wow, that's a great move on the brakes into the stadium section. Piqueras back up the inside. We saw these two battle out for the win in Valencia just a couple of weeks ago. Aditama as well on the 93 machine. He's just behind Khrushchev. Wow, Aditama as well on the number 93 machine out of nowhere. He's worked his way towards the middle of the pack, and he's right in this as well, looking around the outside of everyone. Oh, she up there, roasted up the inside.
Oh my Lord.
What is happening here? Incredible action for the first race of the day of 6 Junior GP at its glorious best. Taking off another lap, Alvaro Carpi leads the way on the 83 machine. Joel Esteban looking up the side of Piqueras. He's done it, and shit! Wow, incredible. Up the side of Bartolini. O'Shea, we know he means business here today, and I don't think Bartolini was very happy with that as well. Throwing his hand up there, and he's lost another couple of places to Khrushchev and potentially Lunetta as well.
So we've got about 22 corners remaining then. 22 corners of action-packed Junior GP stuff, and Carpe does lead it from Esteban with now O'Shea
on the green.
in fourth, looking to go up the inside of both of them or one of them. He's trying to go up the inside of Piqueras. Piqueras is trying to go around the outside of Esteban in front of him. No wonder they're all looking tense in the garage, because behind Alvaro Carpe, it's chaos as now the number 11 of Khrushchev dives towards the inside down into turn 6. Is he going to do them all on the brakes? I think he's going to do 2 of them at least.
O'Shea not letting any of that happen. Joel Esteban a little bit wide. There's Luca Lunetta as well, running around the outside of Bartolini, and you've got Piqueras trying to find a way to slot back in, and Bartolini's up the inside of his teammate as well. Piqueras on the green on the outside of turn at number 7, and this is just allowing Carpe potentially. Looked like he might have had just a lot.
Someone's gone straight on.
Who could that be? We're not too sure. Hopefully it's still running. That is
it looks like Aditama.
Might be Aditama, might be Sharil potentially as well. We'll keep an eye on that, see which one flashes past our screen. And you're right, that might have been, that was Aditama. Aditama was looking brilliant in this group. Yeah, very huge shame. He looked like he was potentially on the top 10 results. But with a lap and a bit to go, they come towards turn number 13, and look at that lead. Alvaro Bartolini and Joel Esteban. Who's coming up on the side? Piqueras. O'Shea takes it. No, he's gone down. He was looking so good at the side of Luca Lunetta into turn number 13. Maybe just squeezed the brake a little bit too hard, and down the brake goes. That's such a shame. Final lap of the race. Carpe leads it from Piqueras. Bartolini, Khrushchev up the inside of Bartolini, but Carpe has a 4/10 advantage over the line over Piqueras.
So here we go then, he's got about 11.5 corners remaining, and trust me, it doesn't look like a lot of room, but that is breathing room in the Moto3 class here in Junior GP. But Piqueras, we know he's been incredibly quick. If there's any time for a qualifying lap, it is right now. Piqueras needs to close up about 4.5 tenths. He comes through the first split, and he's already taken a 10th out of him. So Piqueras is on the way. He's not going to let Carpe have this at all. He doesn't want the 100th winner. He wants the 99th to be winning it again, and he's right there. He's in the slipstream now, coming down into turn 6. They're on the white line all the way down. Is he going to dive to the inside? No, he doesn't. He's sensible here for now. He knows he's got a couple more things. Oh, there's a big problem there for Joel Esteban. Not sure what happened, if he missed a gear coming down into turn 6, but he's gone straight on. And now we do see big moment there from Piqueras. Lost the rear coming through into turn 7. That's not a place where you want to lose the rear. In the background, I think 2 of the Finetwork near racing team bikes were battling away as he is on the inside of him. Watch this line. Is he going to go wide and cut it in tight on the exit? He's done it twice before. I'm not sure he's going to have enough speed to get there before we come down into turn 10. Here we go then. The fast right-handers left, and then the final corner, and that is it. Can he do it?
Carpe chasing his first win in Junior GP. Piqueras chasing his 3rd win on the best. He's not going to look up this in there. He's done it. What a move there to turn number 12. Can he keep it on the curb? Yes, he can. Bartolini in the background. David Almanza as well. And wow, Piqueras round the outside into turn at number 13. Slipstream to the line. Who's going to be bumping and boring further back? Bartolini out in the green, but Piqueras timed it to perfection with a great move. 3rd win in the bounce for Angel Piqueras, your championship leader over Carpe. That's the best result of the season for him. And Khrushchev on the 11 Finetwork Mirror Racing Team machine in 3rd spot as well. Lunetta, what a right to 4th spot, and Rulston in 5th. Big wheelie there. Big result, big win as well from Angel Piqueras. What an incredible last lap that was from the Spaniard and your championship leader to deny Alvaro Carpe a milestone hitting win in Junior GP. And Jack, what can we say about Angel Piqueras other than brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. That wasn't the way that we thought he would win that race. We really thought that he was going to clear off and just run away from the group. So certainly fantastic to see him really work for it there. And on that last lap, an incredible last lap. The lap time was not particularly quick from what we've seen before, but he closed in 4.5 tenths Carpe had coming across the line, and then beat him by a tenth and a half as well. So belting last lap there from Piqueras to deny Carpe becoming the 100th different winner in this category. But Carpe on the box and certainly showing that he is a good little rider this year.
He really is. Alvaro Carpe is his best result of the season. He looks a little bit upset. Oh, he looks a bit upset. He's found the camera. He's shooting a gun towards it, and he knows that was a great race, a great result. And that first win, it must just be around the corner as well. And what a shout out to Cruces on the number 11 machine, Adrian Cruces. What a result as well for the young Spanish rider. That was a great, well-timed last lap from the Finetwork Mir Racing Team machine, just holding off Luca Lanetta and Jacob Wilson. Cormac Buchanan, after a long lap penalty, he picks up 6th spot. Great ride there from the New Zealand rider, ahead of Elio Bartolini. Daniel Sharil picks up his first points of the year. An impressive performance from the number 57 Malaysian rider after coming back from injury, which he suffered right here in Red Bull Rookies a month and a half ago. Rosenthaler in 9th, just ahead of Marcus Ruda, rounding out the top 10. Joel Esteban, we did see him going down the back straight, really upset with his result. He finishes 11th ahead of Tachcon Buazri, Noah Detweiler, Uriarte and Ramstoffer rounding out your podium positions as well. Eddie O'Shea managed to remount and just missed out on a point in 16th. Abiyar Aditama, the Indonesian rider on the number 93 machine, we saw him running off the track with a lap and a half remaining. He managed to remount in 17th ahead of Yambias, Collins, Tiese, Mati, Uchimi, Gurdon and Plonk rounding out all the riders that finished here today as celebrations kicking off already. Alvaro Carpe, well, we did say in Estoril that he was probably one of the happiest riders you've ever seen pick up a podium. He was later disqualified, unfortunately, through a technical infringement. Picked up his, well, what was his first podium, which would have been his second podium in Valencia Race 2, and smiles all round from him. We can all imagine how big this result is going to be. Don't even want to dream about how much he's going to celebrate when he wins that first race, and that first race can only be a little bit of time away. The number 83 rider, brilliant, just outdone a little bit by Angel Piqueras, who picks up his 3rd win of the season, his 3rd win on the bounce, and you just know that Angel Piqueras is steamrolling his way towards what he wants to be his first Junior GP championship as well. So very happy top 3 in the park for me, very happy teams as well, and we can only look forward to what is going to be an absolutely epic race number 2 coming up a little bit later on today. There'll be some riders out there that'll be a little bit disappointed, as you can think. Joel Esteban down in 11th, Eddie O'Shea as well, who crashed out with a lap and a bit to go, RB Aditama as well, but some riders, well, they'll be over the moon, and we'll be able to hear how over the moon Angel Piqueras is in a little bit of time with Jack Gorst down in park for me. Definitely after the photo celebrations, you can just see on the right there our champion from last year, Jose Antonio Rueda, and this is how he did it on the second to last lap, up there instead of both riders. Eddie O'Shea just losing the front, such a shame with the Brit going down, taking out Luca Lanetta, who recovered to a brilliant 4th spot. But this move, this was absolutely brilliant. Angel Piqueras up there instead of turn number 12. You don't really see that from anyone. You've got to have lots of confidence and lots of belief in your front end to be able to do that. And he comes across the lane. He knew that was a big win. That was a well-calculated win. And, well, they'll have to work on their high fives a little bit, well, Carpe and Piqueras, but they won't care about that one jot after what was an incredible, incredible race by the two. Well, we've seen how good his win was. We've seen how good his celebrations can potentially be, but we're going to hear from the man himself very, very soon with Jack Gorst. Jack, over to you down in Park Fermi with your race winner.
Yeah, I'm here with the race 1 winner in Junior GP, Angel. A fantastic victory, and now 3 victories in a row as well, but just talk to us about that final lap.
I don't know, the final lap was difficult because Carpe was like half of a second far, so I don't know. I'm very happy because the race was heavy, no, because all the riders were too aggressive, but I know I have to thank all my team and all my sponsors, but now I have to be focused for the next race, and let's see how I can do.
And just in Spanish as well for us, please.
Bueno, la verdad que la última vuelta ha sido difícil porque el carpe estaba como a medio segundo de mí y le he tenido que recortar. Pero bueno, la carrera ha sido muy complicada porque los pilotos eran muy agresivos. Entonces, bueno, estoy muy contento y tengo que agradecer a toda la gente que me está apoyando. Entonces, ahora concentrado para la siguiente carrera, que es ahora a las 2. Entonces, a ver qué tal.
Congratulations. Good luck for race 2.
Well, this is how he did it. Race number 1 here for JuniorGP at Jerez. He got the whole shot from pole position. It was Cormac Buchanan who took the early whole shot as well, just behind Xabi Surtuza. He slid out of first spot on lap number 1. Disastrous there from the Spanish rider, but it was all action throughout the entire field, with chopping and changing to turn at number 5 before the back straight. And as it headed down towards Pedrosa corner, Cormac Buchanan on the number 14 machine led the way brilliantly. Alvaro Carpellerio on the brakes, right near the side of the Kiwi rider, and you saw Elio Bartolini running a little bit wide, as we would see that he was in the action all the way through the race as well. Eddie O'Shea on the number 8 machine, he was in the mix leading the race as well, and well within the hunt for his first podium of the season. Jakob Rulston, he found his form a little bit later on, coming through the pack and making some incredible moves into turn number 8 and then into the stadium section as well, setting up your championship leader. Running on the green, running on the blue were some of the riders there, and one of them that would get outdone would be Cormac Buchanan, as he would get a long lap penalty. You had Almanza and Morosi crashing out turn number 1 with only a handful of laps remaining. Disastrous for those 2 riders, but it was all action down towards Pedrosa corner. Look at Lanetta up the inside of both Team Australia Lithium machines. He made that his own into turn number 13. Now we see lots of action in this corner towards the last couple of laps as well, as Alvaro Carpi made his way to the front. He wouldn't stay there for long as Rulstein made his signature move into turn number 8. But Carpi up the inside would take the lead, as we saw Cormac Buchanan take his long lap penalty, but he would recover to a brilliant 6th at the flag. Further in the lap, we had lots of chopping and changing as Alvaro Carpi would take the front, but it was disaster there for Eddie O'Shea, the British rider, crashing out from the lead group. Joel Esteban in the final lap, that's what happened to him. He ran a little bit wide, but this move by Piqueras up the inside of Carpi sealed the win for him as he came across the line to record a 3rd straight win for the championship leader on the number 18 machine, ahead of Carpi, who took his best results in JuniorGP, and Cruces rounding out the podium places. A big wheelie for your race winning, your championship leader. He'll be hoping to do the same again in race number 2.
So a fantastic display then from the JuniorGP category in race 1. What a way to kick off the day. And now we are going to hear the podium presentations for them. So first out on the podium, of course, it will be, well, a representative from Team Australia Galicia 0-0, but then it will be Adrian Cruces. Fantastic comeback ride, you've got to say. Really, really good job to come back and get that podium. Alvaro Carpe so close to becoming the 100th different winner in the JuniorGP category, but he was denied by the 99th. That man there, Angel Piqueras, all that he can do at the minute is win. He is incredible in 2023.
As indeed, as he will receive a trophy, one that he will definitely put on his mantelpiece back at home in Spain. The team representatives, Team Australia Galicia, they're making an absolute habit of these wins, with Jose Antonio Rueda last year, now with Angel Piqueras in 2023. Adrian Cruces, he picks up his podium, his first of the season, a well-deserved 3rd spot. You can only imagine the time was about to come, and it has come here in race number 1 at Jerez.
Second place then.
Director of the Circuito de Jerez, Angel Nieto, not Angel Piqueras. Well, if we get any more victories like this, he becomes a legend. Maybe become Angel Piqueras circuit. But yes, but that's Alvaro Carpe, a little bit subdued what we've seen from him. But here we are, the big one. Jose Antonio Rueda, JuniorGP World Champion from last year, hands over the winner's trophy to the person that may succeed him. That is Angel Piqueras. He lifts that 3 wins in a row as we hear the Spanish national anthem.
Es tiempo ahora también para que nuestra guapísima azafata de Finetwork haga entrega del premio de ese cheque de 1 año de fibra y móvil Finetwork al vencedor Ángel Piqueras. Fuerte el aplauso para él, que lo muestra, que luce orgulloso ese cheque.
A year of free Wi-Fi and mobile, that's not bad. I'd quite like that.
Escuchamos el himno nacional de España. Fuerte el aplauso para los integrantes del podio. Fuerte el aplauso.
Well, Ángel Piqueras, your winner in race number 1 to kick off the action. 6 races today. One of them is down, 5 more to go, and JuniorGP will be back out a little bit later on today. Just 2 hours and 20 minutes, they will be back on track for race number 2. As the spray, well, we can only imagine it's going to be some fizzy water because they're absolutely too young to be spraying any Prosecco up there on the podium. And they're now having a water fight, as you do. It's really warm here today, so they're just trying to cool off.
Jerez was a bit annoyed with Carpe there because he got him in the eyes.
Have some of that. Oh my God, they haven't. I mean, they're battling more now on the podium than they were on track. This is absolutely brilliant stuff there. Oh, gives them the death stare, does Ángel Piqueras.
Bit of a brawl on the podium. But so then here are the race results.
Yes, Ángel Piqueras takes race number 1 here in Jerez ahead of Álvaro Carpe, who could now be his nemesis after we just seen that little squabble on the podium with some water. Adrian Cruz is in 3rd ahead of Luca Lanetta, great ride by him. Cormac Buchanan in 5th spot ahead of Jacob Wilson. So Cormac Buchanan actually finished 5th in that race ahead. Well, he actually finished. We'll get that sorted out because his timing was a little bit less than Jacob Wilson as well. So further down the field we had the likes of Marcus Ruda, Joel Esteban, Tachkon Buadri, Noah Detweiler and Marcos Uriarte, and 14th ahead of Leo Ramensdorfer. Eddie O'Shea, who crashed out to take it Luca Lanetta, he picked the back up and finished in 16th ahead of RB Adatama. Fernando Yambias, we're not sure what happened to him. He was in 18th ahead of Torrin Collins, Cesar Tiesi ahead of Alessio Matti, and then Uchimi in 22nd ahead of Alex Goudon and Gibin Plonk in 24th, rounding out your runners and rider. Morossi, Almanza and Jabi Zurtuza as well. They all crashed out a little bit early on in the race as well, but they will be back out for race number 2.
Yeah, there'll be a few there looking to make amends. A little bit of disappointment perhaps. I think Joel Esteban down in 10th or 11th where he did finish in the end. He'll certainly be looking to make amends in race 2. But here you go then, championship leader is Ángel Piqueras. Only dropped 5 points this year and he's now 40 points ahead of Luca Lanetta in 2nd with Jacob Rolston, Álvaro Carpe, Nico Carraro, who's unfortunately broken his collarbone, isn't with us today. Adrian Cruz says Joel Esteban, Xavi Truther and Elia Bartolini completing that top 9. 70 points back in 9th. Just goes to show how dominant Piqueras is. Jacob Rosenthaler, Cormac Buchanan, a good dose of points for his campaign. Eddie O'Shea, unfortunately, just missing out on some good points for that crash. Morosi, Buadri, Ruda, Detweiler, and Sharil. Sharil, I think, finished 7th there, it was. Certainly fantastic ride from him, 10th on the grid. Yambias is there on 9 points in 18th from Izawa, Ramesdorfer, Uriarte, Uchimi, RB Adatama, and Torrin Collins there on 1 point in 24th.
Well, race number 1 done and dusted for JuniorGP at Circuito de Jerez. Ángel Nieto, and it's Ángel Piqueras who took the spoils in race number 1 here today. Can he make it a double, 4 wins on the bounce, or can we have Álvaro Carpe, Adrian Cruces, or potentially someone else taking that 100th JuniorGP